Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. A large group of anti-Israel protesters on the campus of UCLA. They are loud, have been chanting pro-Palestinian slogans. There's a heavy police presence, including members of the LAPD and California Highway Patrol, where that status. So the standoff is changing. The LAPD and riot gear moving in right now to break up and clear out the encampment. At least one flashbang was heard. That was earlier this morning, connected to this latest attempt to remove those protesters. Quiet this morning at Columbia University, but in New York City's Greenwich Village neighborhood, protests last night at New York University, while more than a dozen arrests and protests taking place at Fordham University in Lincoln Center. Donald Trump's criminal trial resumes later this morning. Held rallies in Wisconsin and Michigan yesterday, while President Biden will travel to North Carolina today. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Live and local. Real talk starts now.
And right now is about 2 minutes after 7 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Rayford Brown.
Good morning. I'm Lee Barrows.
And Kelly is out again, making sure she's not complicated.
Right.
How's that sound?
She doesn't want to spread her joy of being sick.
Yeah, she's got a couple of symptoms, and she doesn't want. She's not going to take any chances. So
I appreciate that.
Me too.
We both do.
Me
Just
too.
hope she gets better.
I didn't want to have to put my dive gear on and hang around in here this morning. That'd talk kind of funny.
Suits.
Can you imagine hearing the sound like Darth Vader or something? Okay, this day, things are going on all across the country here.
Why are they?
Focused right now on the West Coast, the left coast, and now we're seeing a lot more reasons, many more reasons why so many of us refer to it as the left coast. Talk about a left-leaning bunch of loonies.
Loonies, yes.
I cannot imagine, after watching some of the video last night and this morning especially, what in the world are these students of so-called higher education and the higher education teachers that they're succumb to? Why in the world? What are they thinking? What are they thinking with? Let me just put it to you.
This whole thing has totally got out of hand. I told you I started watching it last night. I've watched it through the night, and the cops are just now breaching the line of the protesters where they've made their encampment.
I won't tell you what. I'm going to have to give it to the law enforcement there, because they've held back.
Yes, they have.
You don't have a bunch of EMS units there hauling people away. You don't have body bags all over the place.
No, but they have prison buses out there.
Well, they got prison buses, which is plenty. That's exactly where they need to go.
Yep.
And if they generally don't have an option to break glass on prison buses, people make sure you don't do that. And they're pretty well secured. Prison.
Right now,
let them get a taste of their own medicine.
They finally reached into the encampment and were taking down all the plywood that these protesters have up all around.
Well, I'll take some of it.
Brand new plywood. Now, who's paying for that?
Well, I don't know, but I'll go get some of it. I'll take a trailer and go out there and get a bunch of it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'd love to have some of it, but they've been spraying tear gas and then using those lights that flash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, because you would know.
Strobes.
Those strobes that flash and kind of blind you temporarily.
Yep.
And some of the protesters have finally started to move back away from the encampment. But there was probably a couple thousand protesters out there all night long. And there's probably 400 or 500 police officers.
Yeah, you could generally use very loud speakers aimed in a certain direction with some very high frequencies.
They were doing that.
The problem with that is they're so accustomed to going to all these shows and stuff like that and sitting in the front row.
They have no hearing.
Their high frequency ranges are already shot.
Well, they had a couple of the cops sitting up on balconies with those speakers throughout the night. And they got there about 9-ish our time, but they didn't start actually going into this encampment until about 30 minutes ago. They were standing by. I guess they were maybe waiting, hoping the crowd would diminish, but it got stronger.
Yeah, well.
It's crazy.
So anyway, hopefully they will bring it under control without too much pain and agony to law enforcement first, to civilians second, and to the rioting idiots third. Now, I've got to make something perfectly clear here. We, as in almost all situations, we cannot lump together these radicals with all of the other good students in LA or any of the other schools. Okay.
Yes.
Unfortunately, they're the ones that get all the attention. It's just like, as I pointed out many years ago at one high school, which was known in that particular area to get a lot of news attention. Because as the principal there told me at the time, he said, there are only 50 kids in this school of 1,100 or 1,200 or whatever it was. There are 50 kids in here that require most of the attention of our teachers and administrators.
Right.
The rest of the kids are not getting the same education because we have to pay so much attention to keep these unruly idiots under control. That's the same thing that's happening right now. So parents, even if your children in these schools, if your kids, students now, you can't call them your students because they're not your students, but even if they're yours, just leave it at that. They're not getting the same quality education, even if they're not doing and participating in any of this stuff, because all the attention is aimed at these other idiots.
It's very true.
Y'all need to demand your money back.
Well, I'm anxious to find out who these outsiders are. It's all going to come out. Who's funding this?
We've already seen pictures of one that even the media pointed out that she's a agitator.
Right.
I forgot her name, but don't really care.
I have no clue.
But anyway, they've tracked her. And that was good. I don't know telling how many more behind the scenes, but she was on the front lines, the idiot.
I mean, it's been crazy.
I wonder what other countries are involved in this.
That's what I'm saying. You know,
So-
how much Hamas do we have? How much ISIS? You know, how many of those? And what's going to be next? We were talking about that. It's only a matter of time. I feel
Well,
like.
it's only a matter of time, but I'm going to give you a little bit of history here right now, okay?
Do tell.
Do you remember where you were on this date back in 2011?
Yes,
Where?
I was at work.
Where you? No, you Sunday.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't say what day, but 2011, I was home.
You were probably.
Yes.
Probably glued to your TV late that afternoon or late in the evening after the 6 o'clock news briefs that were happening.
More than likely.
Because some tips were coming out, some hints were coming out that something big was going to happen. Actually, something big had already happened. This long, tall, dangly dude, 54-year-old Osama bin Laden, he saw the face of the man, the last face he saw that evening, a guy named Rob O'Neill, of which I had on the interview on the show one morning.
Yes, I remember that.
And Rob O'Neill was the last face that Osama bin Laden saw because Rob put a round or two in him.
It seems like it wasn't that long ago.
Yep.
Time has flown.
2011.
Wow.
The president goes on TV that night, about 11 o'clock or so, and he says, justice is done, or justice has been served, or whatever. It's over. 23 U.S. Navy SEALs and 2 Black Hawk helicopters, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon of May 1st, our time, they, which is a time there, Pakistan was 9 hours later. So at 4 o'clock our time was 9 hours after that. So they landed in this compound, one of them in the compound, one of them right outside this compound in Pakistan, a compound that had been under constant surveillance since August of the previous year, 2010. CIA analysts, a young lady, first spotted something strange walking the grounds from the satellites that we have overhead, something much taller than any of the other people. She saw it time and again and again and again. Then they went back and started pulling previous years' footage and watched that compound being built. Oh yeah, they watched it go up brick by brick by brick. And they were able to determine where the most likely location of that long, tall, dangly individual was going to be. And so in the midst of the night, they hit it. 23 SEALs. One of the helicopters, a Black Hawk, did a crash landing, a hard landing, and it was disabled. Of course, they blew it up too. But there was still plenty of room on board for the other Black Hawk for everybody to get out, and everybody did. None of our people were hurt. Everybody got off the grounds. They spent 40 minutes in the compound after they killed bin Laden, gathering intel, bringing it all back, bringing his body back for identification. They stopped in Afghanistan first. Then with less than 24 hours after they killed him, they dumped his sorry body into the ocean.
I would have found a fire pit
No, there could be ashes left. Ocean, nothing.
after what
Shark food.
Mm.
The only thing that's left will be shark poop.
Well, when you say 2011, there's only one thing that comes to my mind.
What's that?
Everything else that was going on in the world at the time, and it was
stop.
just, I don't know. I didn't even think about him. Well, it's probably a good thing.
5 people, including bin Laden, one of his adult sons, killed by U.S. service members, by members of the SEAL team. No Americans were hurt. Dropped into the Arabian Sea to spend eternity. Obama, by the way, there was a drone flying overhead with as real time as they could get it, sending pictures back, video back. So Obama and some others watched that whole thing go down.
It's pretty neat the way they can do that. They're in the war room.
Justice has been done, he said. Late at night, this was going on midnight now, East Coast time. Crowds cheering gathered outside the White House and in Times Square and at Ground Zero.
Good.
Cheering what had occurred.
Well,
I just think it was amazing that the CIA analysts, especially that little young girl who, they said, how do you know this? And she just was very persistent, and she was evadingly persistent, according to what I've heard.
good for her.
I know what I see.
Good for her.
Anyway.
Yeah, it was I really don't like saying it this way, but it's the truth. It was a proud day in our nation.
It was. It
To
was a
losing the lives that we lost.
And guess what? Some of that intel showed.
Do tell.
There was a plan, a plot to kill Obama, to assassinate him.
Right.
They uncovered that. That not everybody knows that. They also uncovered another plot to attack again the United States on 9/11 that year.
Oh, I don't doubt that. I didn't know about Obama, the
I didn't
planned
either.
assassination, until you read that. But the others, that I have no doubt. I'm sure there's plans. I'm telling you, before this thing goes over at UCLA, I just have a feeling that something worse is going to happen.
It can get to be nasty. This can be
Yes.
one of those smoke screens, y'all.
Yep,
You just don't know.
exactly.
We the area in Pakistan where this place was located, this compound, was within spitting distance of Pakistani headquarters, shall we put it.
Interesting.
For them not to have known anything about this is about as likely as being able to miss a KKK robed individual walking around at a Black Panthers meeting.
Okay.
For them not to have known what was going on was highly unlikely.
Yes, I agree.
We did not. The United States did not tell. But based on that alone, the United States chose not to notify Pakistan that we were coming to their turf. That is an invasion of another country. But nobody seemed to put up a fight about it. We didn't. And Pakistan, they just kind of tucked their tail at that point in time.
There's a special elite group of people that know what's going on. We don't. And I'm sure, like, there's things being done every day, surveillance, infiltrations into these other countries, keeping a watch over what they're doing.
Yeah. These folks have gone in, SEAL team members have gone in regularly to rescue individuals,
right,
and to also to capture certain persons of interest from time to time. We don't hear about them. We should not hear about them. Sorry.
And we don't know what they're doing in preparation to rescue our Americans from Gaza.
No, we do not. We know that Israel's doing probably more of that than we are, honestly, because Israel it's right there, and they have the ability, they have the capability, and And they also have the wherewithal, and they don't really care if bad guys stand up and say, you're not coming in, because they're coming in. We've watched that on numerous occasions. Entebbe. Go back and pull that movie down sometime, or read the story of Entebbe.
Entebbe?
Yeah, the raid on Entebbe.
I will do that.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff that the Israelis do.
I downloaded that other book you were talking about yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
The Western Front.
All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an interesting story about how things were 150 years ago in war. It was like, holy mackerel. And wow. And of course, when I read the book, it was a lot less than 150 years ago.
Well,
19 teens.
So much about our history that I myself personally have not even touched or, been, it's just so much.
Anyway.
Gets me these people who want to erase our history too. Our history is our history. It's a part of us. It's part of who we are.
You don't need to be trying to change our history.
It's a part of who we've become.
It all ain't pretty.
No.
But it is what it is. A whole lot more to talk about as we go along this morning.
Right.
Coming up at 8 o'clock this morning, we've got a candidate for NC Auditor, which
that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
You
Coming up at 8
today.
o'clock this morning. Today's Thursday.
Right.
You messed it up for me earlier.
I did.
We've got the city manager for the city of Jacksonville joining us this morning. He's been on board for a while, and shame on us, shame on me for not reaching out to him. I did see him a couple of weeks ago at a news conference here at the police department. So I got to meet him in person, thanks to Chief Yanero. And, it was just some things go in and out. Right. They need a good PR person or two there in some of these places to let us know and to remind us. We hit a lot of areas, and sometimes we miss some things. So we'll find out a little bit more about Joshua Ray this morning, and what his thoughts are and
what Jacksonville's looking like. What's the future of Jacksonville?
Yeah, what's going on now?
We have a lot going on.
And first thing I want to know, what's happening on New Bridge Street? You got it done yet? I saw some more fencing going up, and I know a lot of work's being done.
The Piney Green of downtown.
Well, not really.
It's not too bad.
It's they got a lot of plans for it. Piney Green was just an on again, off again boondoggle. So many people got involved in that project. That 6 miles worth of asphalt that they really screwed things up, because people lost the contracts because they couldn't finish the job. They couldn't continue the job, so it had to be rebid. That was a boondoggle.
It was absolutely. But I think that when they finish New Bridge Street, it's going to be so nice.
The lowest bidder ain't always the best bidder. Okay?
That's right.
Just reminds me of the old cartoon way back when we were doing a lot of space launches and stuff.
Right.
The two guys, the astronauts, sitting on top of inside the rocket as the countdown is going, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And one guy looks at the other and he says, "You do realize that we're getting ready to be blasted off in a device built by the lowest bidder, don't you?" Oh.
That's that would make me nervous. I'd be like, next stop, I need to get off.
Yeah, in any given hazardous weather conditions around these parts, from hurricanes, tornadoes, even droughts and wildfires, Americans face threats year-round. Many of the hazardous conditions are seasonal. Every season, governments issue tips to help us deal with severe weather, right? We hear them all the time. We read them here from the government. However, many of the severe weather conditions occur with little warning. Tornadoes, severe lightning storms, flash floods. Little advance notice is given because little advance notice is available. We've told you that one of the best tools you can have in your home or place of business is a NOAA weather radio. No home or workplace should be without one. When your local National Weather Service detects conditions that could develop into a severe storm, they don't wait for it to happen. They then issue watches, which are sent out via radios throughout the region. Hopefully, you'll have one of those radios. It's an advanced warning system, very basic, doesn't depend upon a whole lot of anything. It's an advanced warning system that lets you know what could develop. Your NOAA weather radio will immediately send out verbal alerts. Many cellular phone providers will repeat those alerts, but in the case of a tornado warning, Minutes count. There could be 15 minutes before those alerts are actually rebroadcast over your cell phones. The mobile telephones may not transmit that alert for quite some time. John Stars Electric urges residents to invest in one of the NOAA radios. They cost about 1/10 what many of your cell phones cost you, and there's no monthly fee. How about that? It's free. Why would you not want to be forewarned for yourself and your family? John Stars Electric wants to remind you that now is a good time before hurricane season gets underway to also talk with the team about a Generac standby generator. If you've been around here for any length of time, you know that even mild hurricanes can wreak havoc with power transmission lines. Imagine everything that you count on every day being down for a day or two, even 4 or 5 days. No refrigerators, no HVAC.
Yikes.
Your freezers are dead.
Yikes.
What now? Why not power up your life with a Generac standby generator from John Stars Electric? When the lights go out, the next time, you'll be glad you did. 910-989-1908. Call them today to set up an appointment with the team to discuss your needs. You're live and local Real Talk. Back with weather.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Liberty Media presents How to Get Ahead at Work.
It's simple. Just ask for a meeting with your supervisor. While you're discussing the latest sales reports, just slip into the conversation that you customized your home insurance with Liberty Mutual and saved hundreds. Whoa! The business savvy you showed saving hundreds of dollars on home insurance will have you running seminars on saving money in no time.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Based on recent survey of new customers who switched and saved. Written by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Let's take a moment to appreciate our sweet children, loving grandparents, and eternal soulmates. Now let's use them to save money on wireless. Because with the Straight Talk Silver Plan, you get 4 lines for just $25 a month with unlimited data and no contracts. So add those human pawns, loved ones, and save money. Thanks, kids. They're finally worth it. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Get 4 lines on Silver Unlimited for $25 per line per month, plus taxes and fees. For data management practices and additional terms, visit straighttalk.com.
A plan every adult family member should consider is the pre-arranged funeral. It's the worry-saving thing to do for your family. Making pre-arrangements helps to alleviate the additional stress on family members that can come with arranging a loved one's funeral. Jones Funeral Home's prepaid funeral plan helps remove confusion. They make a practical evaluation of costs possible, and it's the best way to take an unpleasant task off the shoulders of the family. Call Jones Funeral Home at 455-1281.
With locations in Jacksonville, Richland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Drs. Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Every weekday at this time, Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville sponsors the marine weather forecast. For fishermen and boaters, this weather forecast is vitally important. For every one of us, our mental health is important as well. Whether you're having some issues with daily life, perhaps there are family or financial matters that keep you on edge. Maybe you're overly concerned about the future given the times we live in. The trained professional staff at Community Prevention Services can help you work your way through your issues. And if you're concerned about the cost, they accept most insurance plans. Their office is conveniently located at 918 Henderson Drive right here in Jacksonville. Of course, you can call and get additional information and schedule an appointment to talk with the team at Community Prevention Services. The number, 910-353-0972. That's 910-353-0972. Offshore today, probably the best week-long forecast I've seen in a long time. Northwesterly winds, very mild, around 5 knots today, becoming southerly this afternoon, seas around 2 feet. Wave detail coming from the south, 2 footers at 5 seconds. Then making a shift to the east, 1 footers at 10 seconds. Sounds and rivers flat, increasing to a light chop in the afternoon. Tomorrow, southwesterly winds 5 to 10 knots, seas around 2 feet. Wave detail, southerly waves at 1 foot, 6 seconds apart. Easterly in the afternoon, 1 foot at 10 seconds apart. Adjacent sounds and rivers, a light chop. Saturday, southeasterly winds 5 to 10 knots again, seas around 2 feet. Wave detail from the south at 1 foot, 6 seconds apart. Then easterly, 1 foot, 10 seconds apart. Sounds and rivers, a light chop. And for you guys who love to fish, surf temperatures of 69 degrees, a degree warmer further offshore. Perfect weather for water temps for the Spanish and Spanish invasion.
Wow, very nice. It's a good couple days to go fishing.
Got it.
And today we have patchy fog before 9 a.m., mostly sunny with a high near 85. Calm wind becoming south around 6 miles per hour in the afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 60. South wind around 6 miles per hour becoming calm. Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 86. Saturday, partly sunny with a high near 82. And Sunday, a 30% chance of showers before 2 p.m. Sunny with a high near 80 degrees.
I tell you what, the power of the broadcast media is overwhelming.
Yes.
Yesterday, I had to go to Wilmington for an appointment, but I had time to get out of there and drive like crazy, trying to find my way from Wilmington to Richlands, which was a chore in itself, given it took me half of my trip to get out of Wilmington. They got the big bridge closed there, as we've heard from our buddy Tim.
Right.
And you can't get there when traffic along 3rd Street, trying to get down to the other bridge so you could get out that and go up 421 to get to I-140. Nope. Double lanes of traffic all the way back, if y'all know Wilmington, back to Market Street. From the bridge back to Market Street. No, don't want to go there ever again. Not that time of day. So I managed to worm my way around, got out to I-40, managed to get up to the 398 cutoff in Burgaw. Take that, go down to a pair of stop signs, hang a left, go to the first right, hang a right. These are Tim's directions. Take a right at the church, and then you can find your way to Richlands. There are lots of little roads between there and Richlands. Oh, I did. All the back roads. Not a lot of traffic. But you know GPS out there? The Piggly Wiggly and Richlands didn't show up on GPS till I got in Onslow County.
Oh my gosh.
Every other Piggly Wiggly for miles around showed up, but the Piggly Wiggly and Richlands didn't show up.
You know, you get that.
I managed to get there, ran out of gas almost.
Yeah,
I had to stop.
GPS has lost signal. I see that a lot.
Yeah, I've seen that, but it was that part was good. It just didn't show up. But managed to get there because Donnie Cox from WCTI, the chief meteorologist, he'd been there since about 11 o'clock in the morning. They've been selling radios, the NOAA weather radios that we keep talking about. I keep harping on because that is your first line of defense. That's your first advance warning. Okay? They were being sold there. $50 a pop. $50 a pop. And the Ham Radio Club, the Onslow Amateur Radio Club here, they had members there standing by to reprogram or to program to fit your needs. Donnie Cox was there. They sold out of radios before I got there. They sold out of radios.
They had plenty when I went, but I went first thing in the morning.
Yeah. I'm going next week to wait for a week down in Swansboro because they're going to be there again.
Yes,
May 15th.
May 15th.
We got another chance in Swansboro on the 15th. Right. And for you folks in the New Bern area, check WCTI's website because they've got the same thing going next week in New Bern.
Yes.
And there are a couple of other locations in case you live outside Onslow County area. Where thankfully we've got 2 in Onslow County, but they've got 6 weeks they're doing this.
Right.
I talked to one of their producers yesterday. He handles their promotional work. Sean, if he's listening, good morning, Sean. But anyway, and he actually shot my picture.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
good.
With a camera.
Yes.
Well, with my phone.
Right. That were your instructions I gave you.
Yeah.
Take a picture.
Yeah, that was a mandate she gave me, but how am I going to take a picture and be in the picture?
I said, have somebody else take it with your phone.
Yeah, because she was smart enough not to say do it as a selfie because I don't do those.
No, I don't do selfies either.
I do some underwater. But
underwater, it was different,
for fun.
but some of these selfies continuously on Facebook and social media. I'm like, that's not me either.
Mess.
As you notice in the pictures, you didn't see one of me because I took them.
That's what happens.
But I got my weather radio, and within less than 2 minutes, they had it programmed and running for me. And
now, when you go program it, if you buy one for yourself and one for your sister or brother or kids or parents or whatever that live in another area in North Carolina, if they live in North Carolina, they've got they've got them everywhere, but they've got the codes for those radios for the specific areas that you want covered. Now, if you want yours to cover Nashville, you can do that too, but we probably don't need that. I don't want it. I don't want to know what's happening in Nashville for weather. But you can have, for mine, I get a program for Onslow, of course. That's number one. I do Craven. I do Pamlico, because some of our stuff comes from that direction. Unfortunately, thunderstorms happen up that way. Craven, Carteret, Jones, Lenore, Onslow, of course, Pender, and New Hanover. And I've added Duplin.
Right.
We get
a lot of ours come
from that
Duplin area.
New Hanover, our coastal stuff, a lot of that, especially summer thunderstorms, big ones that come up the coast and may be brushing the coast right along our coastline.
Right.
And I kind of want to know because sometimes when they reach the Surf City area, they come ashore and come to Jacksonville, come right up the rivers.
Right.
So
yes,
got to be careful. Anyway, they'll be in place again on the 15th at the Piggly Wiggly in Swansboro. Generally, you ask anybody in Swansboro where to go. Well, first you go to the Piggly Wiggly and you keep on going, or you go back. Everybody knows where the pig is in Swansboro. Period. Okay?
Yes.
It's a location.
Right. There's quite a few people there when I got there yesterday, and I got there right after it started. And
I wasn't the only one who missed out. Somebody else came out of the store.
Man, well, I got mine autographed too.
You got your radio autographed?
Yes, I did.
Oh, really?
My Donnie, he flipped it over and autographed it for me. I was going to take my WSME hat that Brian North had already autographed. I could not find it.
What'd you do with it?
I had it hanging. I don't know. But I was going to take that and and have him autograph the other side of it. But instead, I got him to autograph my radio.
Yeah, well, maybe you'll get another cap for the 15th.
Yes. I'll find it before then.
The United States Department of Agriculture, this is, y'all need to pay attention to this, issued a recall yesterday for more than 16,000 pounds of ground beef due to concerns of an E. coli contamination. I'm going to talk to you about another E. coli contamination in just a second. So dog owners, pay attention. Don't go away. The raw meat products were produced by Cargill, I don't know how you pronounce it, Cargill Beef in Hazleton, Pennsylvania, between April 26th and 27th. That's just a week ago. And they were shipped to Walmart stores all over the country.
Whoa.
They're wrapped in these cellophane wrapped trays, right? The recalled items are some of those. They got 2¼ pound plastic wrap trays containing 93% lean, 7% fat, all natural lean ground beef with a lot code of 117. Key to you, lot code of 117. You can go to, I will give this to you so you can probably post this, okay? Because this is kind of important for y'all to pay attention to. The 1.33 pound plastic wrap trays containing four quantity prime rib beef steak burgers patties. You've seen those already made up, right?
I just bought some.
With a lot code of 118. Okay, they got that. 2¼ pound plastic wrap trays containing 85% lean, 15% fat, all natural Angus premium ground beef. Lot code of 117. 2¼ pound plastic wrap trays containing 80% lean, 20% fat, all natural ground beefs. Chuck, with a lot code of 118. 1.33 pound plastic wrap trays containing 80% lean, 20% fat, all natural ground beef chuck patties, lot code of 118. Check your stuff if you've just bought something in the last week. Walmart stores, check them. It came from, they were all packaged in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. Now, I do not know, I know that Sam's is part of the Walmart operation, right? I do not know if that applies to the Sam's stuff or not. Doesn't say. They say Walmart, shipped to Walmart. There you go. Now, there's a warning in the UK, Great Britain. Pets are dying, dogs. They're getting E. coli, and it's spreading amongst the dog population. Apparently, there's a big thing. Feed your dogs raw beef or raw chicken.
That's ridiculous.
Feed them raw stuff, and they're packaging some dog food as raw.
Why? I mean, we all know.
I
that's
know
not
chicken
safe.
chicken you can get diseases from by walking near a chicken coop. But seriously, you need to be careful, and I would shy away from any raw meat for dogs and any critters.
Right. I do
If they want it raw, let them go catch it on the hoof.
I do buy that Pet Fresh, which is,
I don't know what that is.
it's cooked, but it's in, it comes and you slice off a chunk of it. But raw food, I would never, ever. And I know there's people that give their dogs like raw eggs. I can't even do that.
I'm not going there. Just no. Okay, tragic news up in Wisconsin. An armed student, 14 years old, at a Wisconsin middle school, shot and killed by police yesterday. The cops had responded to a report of a student with a gun, went room to room to make sure all doors were secured and that the students and teachers were locked inside. The middle school student was spotted outside the school. He never made entry. He was armed with what was described as a long gun. That's generally a rifle or a shotgun. And he was trying to get into the school. The doors had been secured. Don't know what led up to it, but during a confrontation with police, we don't know whether he fired a shot or not. No information about it. Very limited information about this whole story. The 14-year-old student was shot and killed. The investigation, of course, is ongoing.
Well, he was never able to breach the school, which is a good thing.
Yes, good thing.
Good thing. So
their plan works.
Yes.
Take note.
People were on alert, knew what to look for.
The NOAA weather radios bring out another thing. Do our schools, we got to get Dr. Collins in here. Do our schools have an alert system that if there is any suspicious activity, that all teachers, all students are alerted on their cell phones about an issue?
I believe I remember Melissa Oakley saying that they would send out a text and there were different codes, different colors or something. We'll have to get her to call in about that. But I remember her talking about that. There is a text alert that they do send.
Now, the question that I've got is, are you also warning one of the offenders or the offender, especially if it's a student on the campus? Do they get the same text messages?
No, this goes just to the faculty, I believe.
Just to the faculty.
Just to the faculty.
Is that good or bad?
Well, I would say that it's a good start.
Well, it's a good start that they get it.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that. But I mean, how about the students? They may see something. They may know something.
Well, I imagine these texts, I'll have to ask.
And how do you get all the kids to hunker down?
I guess it would work in in the way that if the teachers all got the text, the first thing they would do is lock up their rooms, Yeah,
but how about if there are students walking from class to class? How about if it's before class?
Yeah. True. I don't know exactly how it works. I don't know if that's something that we're privy to. A lot of the details.
Know. We don't necessarily need to know, but
that's right.
Something like that's going to be very public, though. Whether the students get alerted or not.
Yes.
Anyway, we hope that I hope that there's something in place like that.
Right. And I'm glad you brought that up because yesterday I started to talk about this, but we had like 30 seconds to go. But Onslow County Schools partnered with the I Love You Guys. It's a foundation that helps keep schools safe through different programs. Mm-hmm. The foundation started after two parents lost their daughter in school violence, and all they got was a text message that said, I love you guys. Now, great. That was not here in Onslow County. Right. Now, Onslow County Schools want to make sure no parent goes through that somewhere. Like that here in our district. The school district put together a training session to help improve and enforce safety if any type of emergency were to happen, from anything from a gas leak to a fire in the building. Brendan Gardner The chief operations for Onslow County Schools says any of those situations where students had to be brought off campus and reunited with their family to be done quickly and safely. People such as school district staff, law enforcement, members of the community were put into scenarios to learn different techniques on how to make sure students and parents are safe. 18 to 20 children we were trying to reunify, said Emily Fiegel, the lead school social worker. The wait was short, but when you're standing in a line, it doesn't feel short. And says through those school officials, law enforcement, community college, and members of the community gain knowledge and safety, they hope to never have to use it. So it's a situation where, like, if something happened and they had to move the students out of the school, they have a system that they practiced and a technique where they could notify the parents and, reunite the parents with the student.
Yeah, go to an off-campus location. Generally.
Right. Then have a parent sitting in line on the road trying to get into school to find out where their child is at and what's going on. So additional training. And yesterday morning, I watched the budget meeting for Onslow County Schools, and it went very, very well. They haven't voted on it yet, but they went through. It was quick, it was precise, and well done. So, and a lot of it involved safety and security for the schools.
And once that's completed, once the school board itself approves it, then it will be sent over to the county manager. County manager will take a look at it, and then it will be brought before the county commissioners. They have to give the final say on some of that stuff.
On the school budget?
Well, yeah, because of what the kind of money that they're going to be giving and everything else. So it still comes from the county.
Remember the year that people were demanding that the Onslow County Schools do a budget and list every single pencil they bought and what the money was for?
I think that would be a good idea.
Crazy.
Right.
Remember that?
Let's take a break. You're live in Local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSMA. Our number, want to weigh in something? We got about 15 minutes before we have a special guest in the studio. 910-333-0139. We'll be right back.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
The Cub Cadet Ultimate Sales Event is here. Now through May 18th, save on select Cub Cadet lawnmowers, including both gas and battery-powered zero-turns and lawn tractors. The Cub Cadet Ultimate Series, which includes both lap bar and steering wheel models with heavy-duty mowing decks available in a variety of sizes designed to deliver premium cut. And Cub Cadet XT Enduro Series lawn tractors were engineered for strength, comfort, and versatility. Don't wait. The ultimate sales event ends May 18th. Head to Mills International Incorporated, your local Cub Cadet dealer, at 801 South Queen Street, Kinston, for exceptional offers, expert advice, and excellent service. Offer valid 4/14/24 through 5/18/24. Participating Cub Cadet dealers and online at cubcadet.com. Prices may vary by retailer. May not be combined with any other discount or offer. Does not apply to prior purchases. Other restrictions apply. Void where prohibited.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
If your plans include hitting the
Here to do some traveling, make sure a visit to Silent Service Center is on your to-do list. Travel safety starts with the tires on your vehicle, and a visit to Silent Service Center will give you peace of mind with the best value in all name brand tires and the largest selection of used tires in this area. In addition to quality tires, Silent Service Center is a North Carolina inspection station and does complete brake service, oil changes, and alignment service. Silent Service Center, 1707 Lejeune Boulevard, Jacksonville, and 108 West Main Street, Havelock. Phone 910-353-4760.
Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local Carrier indoor weather team. Serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967, now offers residential and commercial duct and dryer vent cleaning, and now offers expert residential and commercial plumbing service. In case of a power outage due to a storm or for any reason, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning has Generac generators in stock ready to install today. Remember, better breathing comes with cleaner air. Let Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning improve the air quality in your home or business with professional air duct cleaning. As always, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning is available 24/7 for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing emergency needs. Turn to the Carrier experts. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, with locations in Jacksonville and Hempstead. Visit online, humphreyheating.com, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning since 1967. Relax, we're on the way.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, Dave, we're back. Getting a little bit more interesting and some more interesting information. This mess with the university kids, with support from any number of professors who are demonstrating for the Palestinians. Seems like one professor at Northwestern University is the son of, you ready for this one?
Oh, do tell.
Notorious radical terrorist. Professor Zaid Ayers Dorn is the son of a former radical terrorist group leader, Bernardine Ray Dorn and Bill Ayers. You remember them?
No.
You don't?
No.
The group they led for years carried out terrorist bombings in Washington and elsewhere across the country.
Okay.
This professor is their son.
Brought up well.
Bill Ayers, well known, infamous.
I recall the stories, but I did not know the names. I do not remember the names.
As anti-Israel protests continue to plague college campuses across the country, Northwestern University has reached a deal with the protesters. Now there are a lot of people saying, what kind of deal you reached? What are the conditions of this deal? They ain't saying. They did say we have an agreement to curb protest activity in return for the reestablishment of an advisory committee on university investments and other commitments. That's all they said.
Well, I think administration of the college at UCLA, I think they all need to be gone. They've allowed this to happen. They've put our law enforcement now in harm's way to try to clean up the mess that they let happen.
Yeah. A different story than the one that we've seen the past week or so. The number of students participating in the demonstrations. I talked a little bit about it earlier.
Yes.
There really aren't as many demonstrators as they would have you believe. In fact, there have been growing claims that Jewish students have been joined by other students not participating in the protests. Then along comes a guy who says that the anti-Jewish movement may have seen a different light coming from students. But from Iran, a University of Tehran professor said in an interview that Iran likes seeing protests on U.S. college campuses, adding that those are their supporters, and if there is ever a conflict between the two countries, we'll have built-in support.
We've gone wacky in this world. Absolutely wacky.
A teacher, a professor, who, according to the University of Southern California Center on Public Diplomacy, earned his master's degree from the University of Houston, was seen in a video being interviewed about the protests in the United States. Sooner or later, this kind of support, he said, for the Zionist regime by the American regime will diminish. It might not stop completely, but its diminishing is important. This is why the demonstrations on U.S. campuses are important. I do not understand what he's saying. I do not get the mentality. So, Mr. Professor, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. what the outcome's going to be.
It's craziness.
Gotta watch out for 9/11.
Just looking back at this live video right now, the police are lined up facing a line of protesters, and these protesters are all wearing hard hats and gas masks.
Where do they get these gas masks? Where's the supply coming from?
Right, and it's funny
There are
how
not that many.
they're all identical too.
Yeah, and they're got to be imported from somewhere or bought from somewhere.
Somebody's bought and paid for a lot of stuff here, all that plywood, all this riot gear that the protesters are wearing.
Yep.
It's unreal.
Why isn't there a media out there doing some background looking at this stuff, asking questions?
I'm sure there is. I'm sure somebody's going to come up with something.
Well, why not now?
Well, I know they made a lot of
Because it doesn't make
arrests.
news.
All right. It's not. They're not out there shoving. Oh, they're shoving now. Oh, mercy! Somebody's about to get arrested.
Well, that's the way it happens. You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM WSME. We'll be right back.
Freedom 97.1 WSME. Hello, shoppers. Take advantage of these specials and many, many more at your locally owned and operated Richlands Piggly Wiggly, where good things cost less. Down the street, Highway 24 in Richlands. T-bone steak is only $9.99 a pound. Half-cut bone-in strip loin, $10.99 a pound. How about boneless chuck roast, just $4.99 a pound. Thick-cut boneless pork chops are only $2.99 a pound. Boneless fried breast is only $1.99 a pound. And enjoy down-home country cooking in their deli 7 days a week in the store. Dine in or take out, featuring hot, fresh chicken that will make you smile. Country breakfast starts at 5:30 a.m. daily at your Richlands Piggly Wiggly Deli and is home to the famous Merle Bowl. You can also take advantage of the fast-friendly pharmacy located inside the Richlands Piggly Wiggly. Richlands Piggly Wiggly, down the street where good things cost less. Highway 24 Richlands. Remember, say big with the pig.
This just in, I think there's been a prison break, and reports are saying it's the Scorcher. Yes, the Scorcher has escaped and is running rampant across Comfortville. Apparently, he's targeting innocent air conditioning units. Yes, and wait a second. It seems that reports are flooding in of unfortunate citizens feeling uncomfortable, hot, and in extreme cases, I hesitate to say this on the air, people are even sweating. Wait a minute, we're now getting word there seems to be some sort of disturbance. Oh, Bryant Man is on the scene, and he has apprehended the Scorcher. All right. Tune in again for another tale of Bryant Man, always doing whatever it takes.
Call Down East Heating and Air Conditioning at 346-4311 and let them keep you comfortable this summer. Down East Heating and Air, serving our community for over 25 years. Down East can also help you with your home guttering needs. Call Down East today, 346-4311.
Painting, maintenance, power washing, and roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References available and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. So if you want to paint and maintain, power wash, or need a new roof, call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 910-939-0749 or visit southerntouchpaintingnc.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties.
If you're looking for a home, or perhaps you want to sell your house, why would you not pick a realtor that knows Eastern North Carolina? Candy Brown Thompson has lived her entire life in this area and knows the territory like the back of her hand. She's a realtor with Century 21 Champion in Jacksonville and is known professional that will do everything possible to find the right home to meet your needs. It matters not whether you're looking for a small starter home or you're ready for a larger home. Candy will stick her neck out and check out homes throughout the eastern part of the state. She's known to look high and low and show you as many houses as you want until you have found the perfect house you can turn into a home. Throughout the process, she'll treat you with grace, kindness, and integrity, and you'll love her sense of humor. For a realtor dedicated to her clients, give Candy Brown Thompson of Century 21 Champion a call at 910-787-5600. That's 910-787-5600.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
It's live and local Real Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
And again, our guest is arriving in the studio here. We'll We'll get with him in just a couple of minutes or so. Give him a minute to catch his breath after running all the way from downtown, all the way out here. Didn't even use a car today. He's a healthy young man. Well, today they got a hearing this morning to consider the remaining alleged gag order violations after finding the 2024 presumptive Republican nominee for president $9,000. Then the judge threatened to put him in jail if he continued. The criminal trial is going to start at 9:30 this morning. Court does not meet on Wednesdays. Don't know why. What's the hump day break or something? Yeah.
I don't know. I've kind of been tuning into other things lately.
Get in. I think they'll do it 7 days a week and get this thing over with. The Manhattan District Attorney and prosecutors from his office have claimed that the former president violated the gag order that judge imposed on him 14 times. Well, the judge said, no, 9 times is best I can do. $1,000 each, $9,000. Pay up.
I would say, yeah, he might have violated that gag order a little.
A judge detailed in the order that if Trump carries out what he called continued willful violations of the gag order, he could face incarceratory punishment. That's a tough word. How about he's going to jail if necessary and appropriate? My question now is, he's still under Secret Service protection. Are you going to have armed Secret Service agents in the jail cell with him?
That's
a federal statute. I mean, that's a federal mandate. You
Secret
understand
Service sitting outside
jail
his jail
ain't
cell on a
nice.
stool.
Jail is full of bad people.
Right.
Duh. Right?
Right.
How are they going to protect the president, former president, from bad people locked away?
I guarantee you, if it had been a DA, a lawyer, somebody else that was facing that type of contempt of court, they probably would have already spent a day in jail as punishment. But this judge knows he can't put Trump in jail.
Well, I do know a district attorney in New Hanover County, the DA at that time. The judge warned him 3 or 4 times to basically sit down and shut up, and he wouldn't. Bailiff, take him away. And they put him over in the jailhouse for the rest of the day.
Yep. When you're ready to act and play nice, you can come out.
Yeah, huh?
It happens.
Well, I think the DA went overboard. When he was threatened with this, he was a kind of a loudmouth anyway, and he said, "You can't find me in contempt of court. This court is in contempt of itself." That's something words to that effect.
Yeah, I could see you saying that to Judge Strickland.
You just don't want to do that. Once you're in the courtroom, the courthouse included, the whole courthouse, they've decided the judge can rule on if necessary.
Right.
Whatever happens.
Not messing with the judges.
You really need to play nice in there.
They say sit down, I'm sitting down. They say get out, I'm getting out.
When
Yes,
you say
sir.
jump, you say how high.
Yes, ma'am. That's right.
No.
Don't mess with them.
That's the way it is.
Yeah. Yesterday, the House passed the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act in the House, the U.S. House, and it passed 3-91. And some 91 that voted against it, none other than Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz. Yes.
What a pair.
Unreal. They said that while Matt Gaetz said, this evening I will vote against the ridiculous hate speech bill called the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act.
Why?
He said, it's wrong. If the act is wrong, but the legislation is written without regard for the Constitution, common sense, or even the common understanding of the meaning of the words.
Well, he said that. Now I'll have to go back and read it and see what I think.
The gospel itself would meet definition of anti-Semitism under the terms of this bill. The bill says the definition of anti-Semitism includes contemporary examples of anti-Semitism identified by the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance. One of those examples includes, in quotes, claims of Jews killing Jesus. The Bible is clear. There is no myth or controversy on this. Therefore, I will not support this bill.
Okay.
320 people dead out of a little over 400. And then you've got Marjorie Taylor Greene.
You can keep her. I don't want her.
She's she voted against it because of Article 9 that was in the bill. And that reads, using symbols and images associated with classic anti-Semitism. For an example, claims of Jews killing Jesus are blood libel to characterize Israel or Israelites. So those two right there are crazy.
Well,
they need to go.
Well, I don't have to vote for them or against them.
Well, she's calling for a vote next week to oust the House Speaker again.
Yeah, well, that's just going to continue. They're never going to get a House Speaker.
Well,
As long as you Republicans are in charge.
She'll lose that vote. She'll absolutely lose that one this time.
All right, let's take a break. Fox News is coming up now. You're live and local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. Joshua W. Ray in the house when we get back.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Chris Foster. Police in riot gear moving in to break up a pro-Palestinian encampment at UCLA, taking protesters out.
And then periodically they're going to line them, take 5, 6 out at a time to waiting buses by the sheriff's department. And they're going to be arrested and they're actually going to be processed and booked. But I've seen some of the students trying to hide their faces from me, maybe hide them from the parents who might be watching.
Fox's William Lunch, and as the House passes the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act.
Republican New York Congressman Mike Lawler on the House floor.
In every generation, the Jewish people have been scapegoated, harassed, evicted from their homeland, and murdered.
A bipartisan group of 91 Republicans and Democrats believe the bill went too far.
They state it infringes on free speech. That was Fox's Ryan Schmelz. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1
WSME.
It's live and local. Real talk.
Okay, we're back, and we're going to go to a call here in just a second. But first, we're going to introduce you to I've got to say the new city manager, because it's kind of new to me, to us, because we haven't met you before officially on the radio. I got a chance to meet you a couple of weeks ago for just a minute or so, but shame on me for not getting you in here earlier or asking you to come in earlier. Josh Ray, how are you?
I appreciate the opportunity to be here this morning. We have been here for a little over a year and a half now. So we'll take new in 15 years. If the good Lord allows us to be here, we'll take new then as well. So
there you go.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Well, thank you for coming in, and thanks you for stepping up to the plate here in Jacksonville at a time when we had an outgoing city manager and we needed another one. And I guess city council said, you're the man.
Thank heavens.
Yes.
It's a good marriage. It's a good relationship. And with Dr. Woodruff being here for a little over a decade,
right?
What a strong foundation. The team that's here now and that he left is a strong team and a good team to join. And I think we've done a really good job of moving forward with some of the ideals that he and the previous council put together.
That and a relatively stable city council, not so volatile as we see in other government organizations across the country.
Well, local government is the closest government to the people. Local government's where you can actually touch, speak, and see a local representative in Walmart or down at the gas station or anywhere. And so that having stability is a huge plus for what we do day in and day out.
Yeah, I like that. We invited President Biden to come on the show, but he hasn't even responded.
What?
I could probably text real quick and see if I can get a response from him. I'll send one now and see what happens.
We have a caller. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning, Rayford. This is Mandy Daughtry.
Hey, Mandy, what's up?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry to interrupt your with the new city manager, but I'm kind of busy this morning. You've always helped us every year with our give us public service for our fish fry coming up to tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
For the Children's Hospital.
Yes, got that.
All right.
What time? Probably about 11 o'clock on the start.
That's exactly right. Yes, sir. We've got 3 locations. One is at the Shrine Club, which is right across from the Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Got it.
The other one is 53 and 258 there, where the Piggly Wiggly used to be. And the other one is in Sneads Ferry, around the Four Corners area.
Okay. Well, in Sneads Ferry, I would strongly suggest you fry some really good fish, because the people there know really good fried fish, and we don't want to see any protest.
the good thing about that is you get 2 pieces of filet flounder,
nice.
a cold slaw, hush puppies, a bottle of water for $10. What a deal!
That's great.
And what we're doing is 100% of the profits goes to the Children's Hospital in Greenville, South
Excellent.
Carolina. We have no paid employees.
All right. Can you buy tickets in advance?
You can buy tickets in advance, but really you don't need them right here at Shrine Club. You just turn into our drive-through area and make the loop, and you can give them a $10 bill or a ticket or either one, and we'll get you in and out real quick.
Yeah, I've been through that line a few times, and it is rapid in, right straight through, in and out, no problem.
Mandy, what time?
Yes, sir.
How
Well,
late?
we're going to start cooking at 11. We're going to probably cook up to about 3 o'clock until we run out of fish.
Okay.
Okay, good.
All right. I'll
Hey,
put it
I
out
sure
on our.
appreciate what you do for us every year by letting us put on the radio. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Maddie. We'll take care of it. We'll
Yes.
mention it again tomorrow as well.
Great. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. And good luck to the new city manager.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, Joshua, that's one of our constituents as well here, one of Jacksonville. He's been around for a long time.
Yes.
Knew his daddy.
We had the opportunity last week to sit down with the Shriners and
Oh,
talk
good.
about the fish fry and a couple other events they've got coming up this year. Great partners to have in a community, great partners to have just around. It's good to know that people are working to raise money for organizations.
Yeah, I like that word partner. I'm glad that government has seen the light and has taken use of that word quite often because you are in partnership with society around here, but with organizations. Many organizations.
About a decade ago, local government came up with this concept of public-private partnerships, and it took them that long to figure it out. You know, we have been around a little bit. And so we've started to think about how we can work together with others so that we can play in the sandbox and produce more utility in the community. You know, here in Jacksonville, we're talking about how we can serve 72,000 people day in and day out. But the bigger picture is we're a regional leader. And so we have to serve a larger community. You know, we do that with retail and with our food. We serve a lot more than 72,000 every day. So we have to think about that in a bigger picture. And all these partners have to step up because we know we can't serve those people with 597 full-time people.
Yeah, I think I can probably sit out there on Lejeune Boulevard early morning and late afternoon and count more than 72,000 cars going through in a day's time.
I think I saw half of them this morning just coming across town just to see you.
Yes.
That does get to be an issue at times, but I'll tell you what, after coming back from Wilmington yesterday, we don't have any traffic issues here.
Yeah,
None.
and what
Zero.
that is, that's commerce. So we can't complain about it. And we
Nope.
have a very good infrastructure in terms of ways to move people from point A to point B. You know, our NPO, led by our own Anthony Prinz, is very strong, and we move people around this community really quickly. Yesterday, we went to a meeting, and Chairman Tim Foster from the County Commission, he said, I hate to be a couple minutes late, but I got caught up on traffic. And I said, that's your sales tax at work, right? That's what turns the lights on. That's what keeps
There
the
you
water
go.
and sewer moving. It's that sales tax that generates, because then it creates other jobs. And so it's a value add.
Okay. Someplace that I see, I used to see it every day, but I see it several days a week now, is a project that's been ongoing. And the mayor warned us about it a couple of years ago that it was going to happen. I say warned because sometimes you have to warn people about certain projects, but it's a great project. I've been watching it as it develops, as it's coming along. I'll be anxious to see New Bridge Street.
Yeah, it's very exciting to see this project. I'm glad the foundation was laid prior to us breaking ground, because if you're going to rebuild this downtown area, you have to get the infrastructure done. It doesn't do you any good to get businesses in there if you're going to break up a street for water, sewer, and stormwater.
Yeah.
That would be completely backwards. And it happens a lot of times in local government because you fix an issue when it arises. This project's really good. Right now, we're getting ready to close down the middle section completely to finish up the stormwater. And we've worked with the business owners. The business owners are all in because they want to see it completed as well. So we're going to close that section, wrap up the stormwater. It'll be complete, and then go ahead. You'll see the pours going in on the sidewalks relatively soon thereafter. And so once you get the infrastructure completed, then you're going to have the aesthetics, the streetscape items that'll have the lighting, the better sidewalks, the landscaping,
The
that's gonna
better
go through.
parking.
It's going to have a lot more parking.
Yes.
It's kind of interesting. We're going to block off some of those alleys, and we're trying to connect off the back streets to those alleys. So you'll have angled parking on some of those areas where if you're down towards the middle school, you'll have additional parking spaces on that side. So I think it's going to be exciting. Once we get this, the next step is people that own the businesses, let's start bringing in new opportunities downtown.
It's going to be nice.
Yeah, I've seen some revitalization downtown, particularly the corner there at New Bridge Street. And that looks really good. So and I think some of the other businesses are going to come in line with that. I hope.
Yeah, you see a lot of growth around Court Street, and you see just like Dewey's coming back into the mix,
Sure.
and then Don Walton working on one of his buildings that's right next to his office, and then with Biagio's building, two good restaurants, service industry right there. I think we've got real good partners downtown as well.
Nice.
Those building owners are doing the work, and that's not cheap work. So a lot of us just take that for granted that, oh, you can renovate a building, it's going to be a piece of cake. It's not a piece of cake. And with the building code changes, they've got to do a lot to ensure the safety of all of us when we go in a building.
On Newbury Street, I got one request though. At some point in time around Thanksgiving, maybe a little bit before, can you loan me a bucket truck long enough for me to put up one string of lights? I just want one from one side of that street all the way to the other.
Yeah, one of the things that when you redo these downtowns, a lot of people do the lights across the street.
Yeah, and that's the way it used to be.
Yeah, we've talked about it. You imagine you have the whole. A lot of people now leave them year round because that's a downtown walking area, and so we've kicked around some ideas with these new poles of how do you make that presence. You see it in Nashville, you see it in Austin, and some of these areas.
You could put lights up that vary. You could determine, you could program whether it's white lights, whether it's Christmas lights, whether it's Halloween lights, whether it's fall lights, spring lights, or you could actually be programmed to do that.
You can. The only, he could dance with the fountain. You're right. The only challenge you have, the only challenge you have is when you're using the power poles. Since we don't own those poles, then you got to get that synergy with either Jones Onslow or with Duke. Jones Onslow would probably tell us, hey, let's make it happen. But I love the idea. I love the concept. Once we get it done,
cool.
Anything that brings people to downtown and brings commerce there, total positive.
I love that. I love that concept. Okay, what are we looking at infrastructure-wise? We got any issues? I know there are always issues. Streets need to be resurfaced. You've got holes, potholes, this, that, whatever. And I know you guys have been pretty busy on the Bridge Street.
A few addresses.
Yeah. But I know there's not but so much you can do at one time. That's the problem, right?
Well, the interesting project we have now is about $44 million, and that's the sewer outfall line, basically. So what it does is it creates a secondary collection line for our sewer system. We use a land application, and so we don't have a sewage treatment plant per se, like you would see in almost every other community. What we have is a treatment system and then a land application. So this main sewer outfall line, of which our North Carolina delegation did a fantastic job, led by Senator Lazara, to get us funds to do most of this project. So it's not just our direct taxpayer dollars, they're our state taxpayer dollars. So that project's huge. You get that gives us that continuity of service long term. This project allows us that if you've got dual systems going from one area to another, if one line goes down, you basically have reciprocity. So you can take the back door and send all of our waste another direction. That's a huge project. We've been working on that now for over a year in terms of the actual construction. We're on to phase 2. There's a third phase, but that's a big issue. Streets, we have roughly $6-7 million going into streets every year. Some of that's Powell bill, some of that's general fund allocation by the council. But you see the crews out there this morning working on potholes and cleaning up areas and sidewalks. So your list is probably similar to ours, but if we miss one, you just send it in and we'll get out there.
What I thought about doing is just buying a bunch of cans of orange paint and go paint inside every pothole that I can find. That you'll find it then, won't you?
I gave Anthony my list. He took care of it.
I might find it when I'm driving.
You will.
That'll be the problem. I'm in the Jeep, so hit it. It's going to hit really solid.
So do I.
That's right.
Yeah,
But those infrastructure projects are critical. They're not sexy because people just can't see them. It's not a tangible item, and we don't want it to be tangible because we never want you touching your water and sewer. We want to keep those below surface. And so our teams do a really good job of maintaining those projects in and out. And then the street projects, there's a lot of bigger street projects, not just our resurfacing, but those projects that you work on a regional level that come through DOT and our MPO and our JUMPO. Those are big projects for us, but infrastructure is the foundation. People don't think they're as exciting, but they're a critical element for us every day.
A big change in local law enforcement coming up. A change, but yes, a change, but not necessarily a complete total overhaul change. Chief Mike Gennaro.
Very exciting. So Chief,
he's retiring, but he's not retiring.
That's right. He's not leaving yet. We're going to be able to keep Chief around for a while. He's been with the city for over 20 years now and been an asset to not only to the team, but to the community. He brings an awesome approach to policing that a lot of people
I've ever seen.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand. It's better than just the 1980s concept of community-oriented policing, right? You've lived that, you've dealt with it, you know what the concept is. Chief is a very active, integrated partner. Again, it comes back to that. He shows up at places and brings his team to be engaged. So we're excited for him to maintain his role of Director of Public Safety. He's already in that role, but he's basically in a dual role as Police Chief and Director of Public Safety. He's going to maintain the DPS role, and then we're going to bring in soon, here at the end of July, we're going to bring in Chief Jared Phelps out of Prince William County, Virginia. And Chief Phelps will come in, and Chief Gennaro will maintain the DPS role. Chief Phelps and Chief Tallman on the fire department will be the two chiefs that Chief Gennaro provides that mentorship and that guidance to.
Okay. So you're creating but not creating another level since Chief Gennaro has been in both roles as police, which I assume has always been his primary role. But then he was also the Director of Public Service, so he also assumed the command of the fire department oversee.
That's right. And
so he's going to continue with that part.
He will continue with that Director of Public Safety role. And so what you have is when Deputy Chief Patrick Trader retired, that was the third Deputy Chief position. We held that position back. We didn't fill it.
Got it.
So Deputy Chief Dorn and Deputy Chief Weaver assumed those roles, and we took that position, and Chief and I sat down and said, what's the opportunity that's ahead of us right now? Anytime we have an employee that leaves our team, that gives us the opportunity to look at the organization and figure out how to maximize utility and any holes you may have. And so this gave us the opportunity for Chief, who says he's not going to work 20 more years. I don't know why. He seems young enough to continue working.
He is young enough and healthy enough.
He's very healthy. He's probably in the gym right now.
Likely.
While I just had a cheeseburger for breakfast. He's probably walking on the treadmill doing something good. Wow. But he's not going to work forever. And so the transition is great because you bring in a new chief and he can work with that person to continue on that path.
To bring him up to speed.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think the pairing between Chief Phelps and Chief Gennaro is going to be a beautiful partnership moving forward.
I'm assuming that Chief Gennaro had some impact as far as replacement.
Well, he's been right there with us on the whole process. Okay. So Chief Gennaro and I sat down to develop this plan. And because as you come in as a manager, I would encourage people to never try and make dramatic changes when you walk through the door. So this wasn't a Josh Ray concept. This was, we're talking about the future of Jacksonville. And this came out of our discussion. It was Chief's original concept. So he started the ball rolling. We presented in front of our police and our fire, told them the plan. We took our time. We didn't rush through a process because, again, Chief Gennaro is working today, and again, as long as he wakes up tomorrow, he's going to be working tomorrow with our team. We went through this process, a very in-depth process, which is great. We use an outside firm to do the recruitment and to help us through the first phase of narrowing down. Then we brought them in-house. We had a community panel. We had a city panel. And then the final interview was Chief Gennaro, myself, and Deputy Manager, Mr. Massey. And so we were able to do this process, and I think we've got a great person coming in.
You know, there was another young man back here in the 70s. He was the city manager. Did you know that? His last name was Ray.
I did not.
No kin, I'm obviously right.
No kin at all, but...
Do you talk about Richard Ray?
Yeah. I think did he spell it with a W?
No.
He did not. Wasn't? Okay. But anyway.
So one of the parks is named
It just
Richard Ray
hit me
Park.
there for a minute.
Right, but I didn't know he was a manager.
I don't think he was a manager.
There was
he was city councilman or something.
No, there was a Ray that was manager here. I have to go back and look it up. That was way back in the 70s.
Now I need to know there could be some lineage there. Now remember, we're the Rays from the western part of the state. So originally from Waynesville, North Carolina. We don't have any relatives down here except the ones we brought with us and the ones that come to visit. But now I'm going to want to know.
So I got to check that out.
I have to look him
My
up.
memory may be fading, but you know how that is.
Number one question on social media this morning, and I know you know what's coming. The multi-sports complex. How's it looking?
It's a fantastic project. You mentioned earlier that the council is a strong council and they've unified on this. If you think about this process that started, the city and the county pulled together a team to find the piece of property that would be that sports complex land.
Right.
So together, the elected officials said, this is our site. This is what we're going to do. The city purchased the property. The original concept was we were just going to have multiple fields in this 400-acre site. That turned into how do we maximize that property to answer a lot of the questions that we have. And so that sports complex is a heck of a project. We've made it through the conceptual plan. Now we're on to the engineering design phase. This next phase will take us to 30% plans. And as soon as we can get to there, you'll start seeing us advertise out for construction. We're also bringing in some additional partners right now that may build the residential aspect, because it's not just a sports complex plan, it's sports complex and it has an uptown concept to it. And that's where you'll see a lot of the area where the lights show you a different atmosphere. So we'll have downtown and then we'll have this uptown concept.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's
nice.
It's a fun, exciting project. It's going to be expensive. So when you're thinking about how we pay for things, we're going to pay for it with the tax dollars. And
you're going to raise taxes.
The goal is always to not raise taxes. That's the goal.
Bring in more stuff, more people, more business, more facilities. That increases their taxes just by the nature of them coming in.
Part of the plan we've talked to the council about, and they've been very receptive, is you've got to allocate the funds from the new development within the city to provide for that debt. So if you're looking at a $155 million project on the city side and another $850 million on the private sector side, so $1 billion investment in this property. But everything that's new property tax that you can set aside year over year for the next few years, you allocate that for your debt service payment. So you get a Jaggers that opens up, you get a Slim Chickens that opens up, they pay their taxes. You earmark that over for debt service, and you don't expand your general services, you set it aside. And that's the mindset. And then, like you mentioned, you're going to create new sales tax. So that new sales tax goes to that.
I'm going to go ahead and put a plug in for both this young lady and my other young lady that sits there.
Kelly, she's not here.
You need a Top Golf and a Sheets. I don't know what either one of them is, but
Golf.
that's what I'm just telling you.
You know, we're working with Sheets. We've been working with Sheets for a while now to bring a couple of those gas
Kelly
stations
just went through the roof at home.
Yeah. Can we write you a check today?
Wawa's another station.
Yes, Wawa.
Both of those are, they're working through our planning department to see if they can make it happen. That Top Golf concept comes up a lot. When we did our community input sessions, Top Golf was a big mark in terms of a direct business. Top Golf and Dave & Buster.
Yeah, Kelly and I sent people in there on that.
Yeah,
you did good. You were very effective.
Well, Kelly is smiling from ear to ear. Maybe she'll feel better after this.
Well, there's a spot when you look at that concept plan. When you go online to our website, to our social media, you will see a spot on the left side. So when you come in the entry, there's a circle, a roundabout, and then you'll go up. There's private land development that's earmarked for these type of businesses. So we're working with our basically a site selector, a developer, a realtor to attract those businesses now, so that as we're building the sports complex and the soccer fields and the parks, they could be building their facility there. That'll bring traffic in. And then the best part is, and we've seen this in multiple places that we went to look at. The last one was down in Charleston and then over in Myrtle Beach, where they're really close. So when teams come into play, then when they leave to go get food or they've got a break, they go over to Top Golf. It's an awesome pairing.
Wow. Kelly and Robin got me started on Top Golf. I won't tell you what now. That's
All right,
a money.
we're going to take a quick break, do a little bit of weather, but we'll be back, and we'll take your questions after the commercial break. So if you've got a question or two you'd like to ask our city manager here, give us a call at 910-333-0139. Every weekday, at this time, Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville sponsors the marine weather forecast. It's great for fishermen and boaters. This weather forecast is vitally important. For every one of us, our mental health is important as well. Whether you're having some issues with your daily life, perhaps there are family or financial matters that keep you on edge. Maybe you're overly concerned about the future given the times that we live in and the news that we keep harping about and see on TV. The trained professional staff at Community Prevention Services can help you work your way through your issues. Ask if you happen to be concerned about the cost, ask them. They accept most insurance plans. Their office is conveniently located at 918 Henderson Drive right here in Jacksonville. Of course, you can call and get additional information and schedule an appointment to talk with the team at Community Prevention Services. Slow down. 910-3. I'm reading like Biden does on his prompter, right? I'm reading just like he's on his prompter right there. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Community Prevention Services at 910-353-0972. That's 910-353-0972. Offshore today, probably the best week-long forecast I've seen in quite a while. Northwesterly winds only around 5 knots today. Switch around to the south this afternoon. Seas, they're running about 2 feet. Wave to tail coming from the south, 2 footers at 5 seconds. Then making a shift to the east, 1 foot at 10 seconds. Sounds and rivers are flat, increasing to a light chop this afternoon. Southwesterly winds tomorrow, 5 to 10. Seas around 2 feet. Wave to tails, waves out of the south at about 1 foot tomorrow. Nothing, 6 seconds apart. Easterly, 1 foot in the afternoon, 10 seconds apart. Adjacent sounds and rivers, a light chop. And on Saturday, pretty much the same. Southeasterly winds are light, 5 to 10. Seas around 2 feet. Sounds and rivers, a light chop.
Okay, and today is going to be mostly sunny with a high near 85 with calm winds. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 60. Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 86. Saturday, partly sunny with a high near 82.
WSME.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry. Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro can save you money on your automobile insurance with new options that are available now. Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro goes the extra mile to make sure you are in good hands, like helping you customize your auto, home, and windstorm coverage with their Write Your Own Home policy. Yes, save even more when you bundle your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and even your golf cart. Remember, if it rolls or floats, call Tammy for a quote. You and everything you own are in good hands with Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro. Save more money on your automobile today with Tammy Fry Allstate. Phone 910-326-5383 today. Tammy Fry Allstate, 638 West Corbett Avenue in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro.
When you need comforting, who do you call? An old friend, right? Jacksonville Heating Contractors services the heating and cooling needs of our area with dependable quality train systems, guaranteeing indoor comfort for your home or business. In addition to quality train systems, Jacksonville Heating Contractors offers 24-hour emergency service, NATE certified technicians, and over 50 years experience and service you can trust. And with a Jacksonville Heating Contractor Service Agreement, you never pay retail for heating or cooling services and receive priority scheduling. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And in New Bern, you can call Trent Heating and Air Conditioning 252-633-2200. In Morehead City, 247-1122. If you need service or repairs, just call an old friend. Jacksonville Heating Contractors, an independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. For deals on train systems and more, visit anoldfriend.com or call 910-347-2843.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, we're back, and I think we have Jimmy Stevens again. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, Rick. It sure is. I have a question I'd like to ask.
Okay.
In Jacksonville, one of the oldest neighborhoods around other than downtown Jacksonville was over in the other side of Overbrook. And over there is where the Elizabeth Lake was located.
Oh, I remember that.
And the city manager that flew in from Boston or somewhere come right in there instead of planning anything and got the tractors and busted that dam. Now they have completely ruined the value of the homes around there. You have homeless people living in the bed of the lake. And, if I went and built me a building on 3 or 4 acres, a nice big building, I would have to have a retention pond. And many years ago, when the Gentry guy from Gentry's Produce and another group dug that through there, that helped the water flow from the north of the county down to the river to keep it flowing. And now they've let it grow up. And I know there's some city ordinance that if I didn't cut my grass and let it get that big, they'd send somebody over there and make me pay. I wonder what the holdup is with the lake. One of the employees said, man, they avoid that like the bubonic plague. And I laughed.
I can tell you, if you don't mind, Rayford, I can
go ahead,
grab
please.
that one. So that's all private property. So that's not city-owned property where that former lake was at. And we've got a lot of team members that have lived here their whole lives, that fish that water, that have stories from kids to adults. Great property, great area, but a lot of that goes to the private property owners through there. The only thing the city has is some easements through that area, and we're actually doing some stormwater work on the back side of it now. You can see 2 projects that are active today.
Right,
we're working on. But yeah, they should be. It should be maintained, but it's not maintained by the city.
Oh, I got you. So what about the stream there going through there? I mean, that flows down to the New River. I mean, and it's surely a good stormwater runoff for Jacksonville. Go through that stream, and you can go on the end of Red Oak Street, and there's trees across the stream out there. And I know what you said. I'm not deaf about the private property. But on the easement, especially on the South Shore Drive side where the homeless people go in and sleep in the bed of the lake, that right there needs to be cut down. I thought it was like a 3-foot right of way through there or 4 foot. And, I understand, but the inmates could come from Newport down there and look like a bush hog went through there. They'd be so tickled to get out there and work,
Yeah, we definitely agree. If we could get the larger inmates crews that we used to get, then they could come through. They would still only come through once or twice a year because what they were doing is they were hitting all of the ditches and the right. But that still is right-of-ways are private property. They're still supposed to be maintained. Even the sidewalk in front of your house, you maintain the grass all the way there. On state roads, we go through and we edge that. But these rights of ways are still private property. If we can get more crews, if you've got the connection to get us additional inmates, send them on over. We put them to work.
I think the sheriff is working on that.
Hey, I really appreciate, in due time, maybe consideration about doing something with that lake because
that would be beautiful.
The city is constantly beautifying. Over there in the Commons, they have a lake with 2 fountains over there. Man, that place would have been nice with a lake with 2 fountains, but I understand it's private property. Maybe they'll donate it to you or something like that. Hey, man, you have a good day. God bless you guys.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you.
I remember that.
Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
I remember that lake for a number of reasons. My family moved behind what was then Elizabeth Lake.
Right.
There were 2 entrances to the area, which is, I forgot what you call it now. DeWitt Street is what we lived on, 10 something. And we were one of the first houses over there. Okay. That lake, it was interesting. We were there in 1954 when a thing called Hazel came through. There were 2 ways to get into and out of that area where we lived. They both washed away. We were without transportation. We could not get in or out until my uncles put a boat in the water on the other end, the north end of the lake, and managed to pull it back and forth across. Managed to get on and off that island, so to speak, because there was no DeWitt Street going out to Gun Branch Road, no connection with any other part of the city. So that was an interesting time in itself. And the governor was Luther Hodges at the time. I'll never forget my dad on the phone with him.
Ooh.
Managed to get on the phone, and he blasted him for the DOT not taking care of it. That's when they came in and rebuilt the south end of the bridge area there and made it more storm resistant. But that lake was beautiful. They had a garden club, an Elizabeth Lake Garden
Yes.
Club that kept the lake beautified.
Remember the
Flowers,
ducks?
the ducks that were
The
there.
ducks.
It was a beautiful lake.
Well,
It
think about
was.
it. Stormwater wasn't a state mandate until about 2009. So we've only been in the stormwater business officially for a little over a decade. It's not like water and wastewater that we've been doing forever, or fire inspections, which is how city government began. But we're still in a fledgling utility. So for us, we maintain it well. You see these projects going through, but anything before that, it was basically deal with it as it occurs.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he was talking
That's
about.
exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
And, it was a civic club, so they took care of it, making sure everything was done. Those who live right along the lake, I guess they own the lake or own part of it. Maybe they own up to the high water line, whatever that would be. But they had little docks there. They had all sorts of stuff up in that thing, and people did fish there.
Yeah, it was sad to see it go. But
Became a-
privately owned.
Yes, and
So there was nothing anyone could really do about it except for the landowners. and
deed it to the city.
My
It's not doing
understanding
them any
is they
good.
didn't want to. I have another question for you. Jacksonville Ospreys.
I saw that. I just looked down and saw the Jacksonville Ospreys. And you
Yes.
talk about partners. This is an excellent example of how a partnership works out. When the Patinos came into town, they wanted to bring in an old North State baseball team,
Right.
and they're an excellent partner. They're very excited. They're energetic. Both of them have business experience. He's been in the Marines. So they have a lot of ties to the community, and we're down to the home stretch now. The first games are going to start very
Is there a
soon.
ribbon cutting ceremony this week?
It
I
is coming
believe?
up.
Yes.
Yeah. And so as the partnership works, they requested funds through our Tourism Development Association. The TDA gave them funds through the city. And so we've been doing improvements to Jack Amyette Field.
Sure, which is great.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Beautiful.
The netting is up to protect the patrons. The larger bleachers are in. We've expanded the dugouts because you need bigger dugouts. They're going
Right.
to have 30, 35, 40 kids on their teams. So we've expanded that. The batting cages will go up this week. They've already worked through their vendors, so they're going to have plenty of food options out there. And other communities have struggled with what's the right investment to put into a baseball stadium. Baseball is America's pastime. I grew up in Asheville watching the tourists play and take a lot of pride in that. Now I'm hoping that the Ospreys are a long-term entity here in Jacksonville so that we're coming here to watch baseball instead of going to the Morehead cities or to Durham or to Wilmington. We want you to stay here. There's 28 games this season that are home games.
Yay.
And then the playoffs.
Now it's up to us, people. We've got to get out there to support this team. We need to be there. We need to overflow that stadium. We really do. Parking is cool. Now you're gonna have to walk
Plenty
a
of
little bit,
parking.
perhaps across the street, not like you do in a lot of other areas down the block, 5 blocks away to walk, or to get a tram or whatever they offer. Here, there's gonna be plenty of parking in the New River Shopping Center. They
All over the
close at
place.
5 o'clock, y'all. Hello. So there's plenty of parking available.
All right, just for you, so you know, the ribbon cutting is 2:30 p.m. this Friday.
Friday, tomorrow.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic because if you don't go, then the team can't make it.
That's right.
And you can't expect 200 people to come in every game. It has to be our people. You can go online, buy their tickets now. You can also go online and buy an 8-pack. And so that 8-pack of tickets, you just use them whenever. And that's a great thing. Tickets are $10 at the gate, but if you buy that 8-pack, it comes out to about $7.50, I think,
Right.
plus or minus. But again, you get a reduction. You can be a sponsor. You can be out there actively. I think it's going to be fantastic for us to have them in the community, and I hope people show up just like you were saying, Ray. They got to go out.
Yeah, that 10-pack of tickets for $8 or $7, whatever it is, you don't have to go to any particular 10, as I understand it. You can
Right.
pick whatever games you are available
Right.
to for that night. Take your ticket, go out there, you're stamped.
I confirmed that yesterday with Mr. Patino because we have a family of 5, and I said, what if I just go ahead and buy the 8-pack? Who knows which of my kids are going to go with us? So Savannah and I are going to roll out, and if we can get Kinsley or Cadence or Cambry to go, then we'll use one of those tickets, but then we'll have a couple others left up.
There you go.
I think it's great. This is another one of those great things. We didn't go in and invest $1 million or $2 million to build a new stadium. we used the infrastructure that we already had because Jack Amyette is an awesome field.
Yeah, as badly as that place was destroyed, and that was the first recreation center we had here in Jacksonville, and I remember it well. And I met anybody else in here ever meet Jack Amyette? He gave me swimming lessons. We did not have a pool at the time then, nor now, but we got one coming. But we had to go all the way to Cedar Point and swim in the Intercoastal Waterway. That's where I learned to swim, by the Jacksonville Recreation Director before he contracted polio.
You mentioned that with the partners. Think about the YMCA. That's a big deal.
That's absolutely huge deal.
They were working on that for 20 years.
I know.
And the timing worked out this year so that the stars aligned, funding aligned, and now they're moving forward, not just with the support of the city and the county, but the schools as well, and then the state. It's going to be great.
It's going to.
Yes.
We're coming together, folks.
It's so exciting.
What a fantastic location, too.
Yes,
Oh,
we tried this, 30
Easy.
years ago, where the public was able to buy into the bringing a sports team to Jacksonville. That all fell through after so many years.
People bought seats for
yeah,
that.
I did.
Mr. Bittner bought seats
I
for
did
that.
too,
He was in that
yes.
time period. So that had to be in that
Yes.
period. But people had, through the chamber, they bought their season tickets, and that was part of that effort. But again, think about over in Leland, what they dealt with trying to build a new stadium and the
Right.
millions of dollars it was going to cost. We're not in for that. And we told that to the council. We can come in with the Old North State League. We can come in at this level, and then we can build it if
Right.
people show up.
It's
Field of Dreams.
absolutely beautiful
I
over
like
there.
it. I like it.
We're not going to build it up
Yes.
beforehand, but if it goes the way we'd like to see it, think about having some seats in the left field wall next season.
Oh, wouldn't that be
Right.
great?
Oh, it'd be fantastic.
Well, I have one more question. Do you want to go to break first?
No, let's go ahead because we're going to
Okay,
have to wrap
real
up.
quick question. What's the city going to do with the USO building?
Oh.
Are you tearing it down?
Yeah, there's nothing with the city on the USO building.
There's nothing.
not- that's not a you
It's
thing.
nowhere close to us. It's the base has it. It's
okay.
their facility. They go through a list, so they're going to dispose of it.
Right.
That doesn't mean they're going to tear it down, because the tear down of it would be roughly $3-4 million. The repair estimate that the Marines had for it was about $8 million, because it has sinking issues. So
Right.
anything you go in and say, hey, we could go put some businesses in there, it's not safe.
Right.
And so we're lower on the pecking order for who could claim that building. There's a lot of the federal process goes through a list of people, and we're way down here. But if the property were to come to us, renovating that building, it'd just be very expensive. So I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you, but it's a big what if. People just need to know the city has no input on that
Okay.
building right now. Even if we make comments about it, they don't even listen yet.
Yep.
Because there are at least 40 entities above us
Okay.
that could have rights on it, and it's
And the
not a
federal
project.
government being at the top of the list.
yeah, well, it's theirs.
I'd just like to see it preserved.
Joshua Ray, thank you. We do appreciate
Yeah,
you
it's
coming
always
in
been
this morning.
interesting. We've had a lot of great comments on our social media sites. I guess somebody's calling in now. And you got a special good morning from Waynesville.
Well, let's hope it's mom.
Somebody's-
Is her name Lula? Lulu?
Lulu, that's
Lulu
my mom.
Ray. Yes,
Morning, Mama.
she says good morning.
All right, we got one final caller here. Good morning. You have a question for the manager? Hello.
That's Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Are you there?
Oh, good morning, Rayford.
There you are.
Sorry, Kelly. No, actually,
Lee?
Lee.
Lee, I'm sorry.
Just
Lee,
all
I was
messed
going to ask where Kelly is, but that's okay. So, a question before I give a comment. We haven't heard anything lately about the pool. Is there any updates on when ground will be breaking for the actual pools?
I think they're scheduled for July. Now we're
Something like
the city and the county are going to approve the funding agreement in June. I believe we're set for June. It may even be the end of this month that we're going to approve the final funding agreement, but everything's in place. I think they said July was the groundbreaking. They're moving forward. They have their design. They're wrapping that up. I know that team is very aggressive. That build will be about 18 months from what we hear, just like what you're seeing with One Play.
Mm-hmm.
They're big facilities, so it'll take a little bit, but it's going to be a great project.
Yeah. Okay.
Looking forward to it. Real quick note on the USO building, there's efforts being made to make it a historic building.
Yes. Yes, we had
So,
talked about that.
We hope that goes through.
Yes.
So, Rayford and City Manager, of course, thank you for coming in. Rayford and Lee, have a great day.
Bye,
This is Kelly without the kill. This is just the lead part. Okay. Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks, Chris. Wow.
Joshua, thank you.
Well,
We
I just
appreciate it.
I just tell people if you got any questions, send them to us. You can always access us on our social media, but you can get us at City Hall. We're active, between Mr. Massey and myself. We're constantly around town. We don't sit in the office, so you call, you may not get us, but you can always send messages. Find a way to get your answers when you want them. We are local, so it's not like we're going anywhere. Tonight, I'll be at the Commons at my kids' volleyball game. So you really need to see me, I'll be sitting there in the stands. Come check us out.
Yelling.
Well, I would tell you,
I
have
will
an
be.
excellent assistant, Pam.
She's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Been with the city for 30 years as of
we had a
last
long
week.
conversation.
Wow.
She knew my dad, and what a pleasant woman.
I told you.
Everybody at Jacksonville City Hall.
This is an amazing team and an
Right.
opportunity where I could come in and be a part of something really special between the museum, between the YMCA, the projects of the
museum.
Boys and Girls Club, one place. There's a lot of good things happening right now that
Love
we're
it.
excited about.
Love it. We're excited. Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll be back on the other side. Thank you, Joshua. We appreciate you taking the time to come in this morning. You're live and local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Freedom 97.1.
The Cub Cadet Ultimate Sales Event is here. Now through May 18th, save on select Cub Cadet lawnmowers, including both gas and battery-powered zero-turns and lawn tractors. The Cub Cadet Ultimate Series, which includes both lap bar and steering wheel models with heavy-duty mowing decks available in a variety of sizes designed to deliver. Cadet XT Enduro Series lawn tractors were engineered for strength, comfort, and versatility. Don't wait. The ultimate sales event ends May 18th. Head to Mills International Incorporated, your local Cub Cadet dealer, at 801 South Queen Street, Kinston, for exceptional offers, expert advice, and excellent service. Offer valid 4/14/24 through 5/18/24. Participating Cub Cadet dealers and online at Cub.com. Prices may vary by retailer. May not be combined with any other discount or offer. Does not apply to prior purchases. Other restrictions apply. Void where prohibited.
Mother's Day is Sunday, May 12th, in case you forgot. So make the mother in your life feel extra special with a gift from Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, right here in Jacksonville. All Mother's Day jewelry is reduced 30% off, and you are guaranteed to find a perfect Mother's Day gift at Barnes Diamond Gallery. Barnes Diamond Gallery has a lovely selection of earrings, pendants, bracelets, necklaces, watches, and mother's rings to choose from. In addition, Barnes Diamond Gallery has loose diamonds, emeralds, and pearls. With an in-store jeweler, Barnes Diamond Gallery can custom design a special and unique piece just for you. Being family owned and operated for 40 years, many of our area's mothers and grandmothers grew up with Barnes Diamond Gallery. So why not remember them this Mother's Day, Sunday, May 12th, with a gift from Barnes Diamond Gallery, 421 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, right here in Jacksonville. Remember, Barnes Diamond Gallery pays top prices for gold, sterling silver jewelry, sterling flatware, and diamonds. Happy Mother's Day from Barnes Diamond Gallery.
Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only cover protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, Solid-Tech luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your home. That's suitable for all pets. For details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them the best of the best for 2023 in the flooring covering and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering, they're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering, family owned and operated since 1997 with locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. Watkins Floor Covering, you stand on it, we stand behind it.
The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11. 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. On your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement, parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters, and they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only $11. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Okay, we're back, but we're going to also have to take another break here because we were at just a little bit over, so we'll be right back.
WSME.
Whatever you do, you don't want to forget Sunday, May 12th. Why, you ask? Because Sunday, May 12th is Mother's Day. Since 1950, and being Jacksonville's oldest jeweler, Bryn Mawr Jewelers has celebrated mothers, grandmothers, and even great-grandmothers for 74 years. Wow. Being a mother is the hardest job in the world. And in honor of this special occasion, Bryn Mawr Jewelers, located at 1136 Western Boulevard next to Sam's Club, invites you to their beautiful showcase to check out their special and unique selection of fine diamonds, emeralds, rings, mother's rings, beautiful watches, and bracelets. And if you prefer, Bryn Mawr Jewelers will gladly design a custom piece just for you. Make mom feel extra special this Mother's Day with a gift from Bryn Mawr Jewelers. Family owned and operated for 74 years. Happy Mother's Day. From the Queen of Diamonds, Lisa Lutz Keys and Lou Keys of Bryn Mawr Jewelers. Phone 910-455-2994. Online at brynmarjewelers.com.
If you plan to rebuild, remodel, repair, or do cottage or home improvements, Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City, should be your first stop. Williams Hardware carries power tools and equipment, chains and fasteners, plumbing and electrical supplies, along with Gerber, Buck, and Case knives. Williams Hardware is your helpful, handy hardware store. As to size and custom threads pipe. When the chores are done and the cleanup is finished, light up that Wilmington grill from Williams Hardware. Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City. Open Monday through Saturday from 7:30 till 6 p.m. and Sunday for convenience, noon till 5. Phone Williams Hardware, 252-726-7158.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a vet about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
Hello, shoppers. Take advantage of the following specials and many more at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store located in downtown Maysville on Main Street. Yes, downtown Maysville, Piggly Wiggly. Costs less down home down the street. T-bone steak, $9.99 a pound. Half-cut bone-in strip loin, just $10.99 a pound. How about boneless chuck roast, just $4.99 a pound. Thick cut boneless pork chops, $2.99 a pound. Boneless fry breast is only $1.99 a pound. Whole boneless pork loin is also just $1.99 a pound. And remember, the beef and pork is cut fresh every day by the butchers at your Maysville Piggly Wiggly, and they use only the finest and certified Angus beef and Sanderson's Farm chicken. Over in produce, first of the season, Vidalia onions, just $2.99 for a 3-pound bag. Yellow, white, or bicolored corn is only 39 cents an ear. North Carolina grown fresh strawberries, just $2.99 for a 1-pound package. Sweet grape tomatoes are only $1.99 a pint. How about whole seedless refreshing watermelons? Just $5.99 each. And you get 2 2-liter size Coke or Sprite for just $4. That's your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store located in downtown Maysville on Main Street, where good things cost less. Remember, say big with the pig.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, we're back here for just a few minutes. But you know what time it is? It is Miller time. Hello, Chris. How are you?
Hey, Chris.
Hey, good morning. It's been a great show as always. How's everybody doing this morning?
We're kicking around here. How are you doing?
Doing good. Really enjoyed listening to Mr. Ray, Joshua Ray, talk, especially about the Ospreys, and hope people aren't tired of us talking about them. But we really need that community support this year for this team if we want to keep them for a long time. And the Patinos, like Mr. Ray said, have really done a great job forming a partnership with the city and the county and or the city, and it's I think it's going to be a great thing. So. I just hope the community and the fans and the families come out and support our local team.
Yeah, we hope so. And
Yes.
even when they're on the road, if they're on the road, Moorhead's not that far.
Well, exactly. But it's going to be great to have our own local team here in Jacksonville, and just we need that support. They're going to do a good job of making sure the family filled, but entertaining. Atmosphere and good baseball, so it's I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep, I think so too. So anyway,
But
sports.
So Rayford, I did want to share a little story. You guys mentioned that today was May 2nd. May 2nd was when our country killed Osama bin Laden, and it was we're all proud to be Americans, but that was a day to especially be proud of our country for the services that our men and women do in uniform and what they did on that day. But I remember watching a Major League Baseball game that night.
Oh, really?
On ESPN. It was the Mets, New York Mets of all teams, against the Phillies. They're bitter rivals. They hate the fans don't like each other. The teams don't like each other.
Right.
But I'm watching the game, kind of a run-of-the-mill game, and the next thing you hear in the crowd on the TV is people chanting USA, 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 and you're like, okay, what's going on here? And then you a few minutes later, you change on the news, was reporting what happened and everything. It was just kind of a neat thing to see fans from two different rivals all chanting for the number one team, which is the United States. So
Yep.
it was pretty cool to see that on TV.
Yeah, it was. I was watching it, of course, and earlier in the day, my wife will tell you my phone was lit up beginning earlier in the day. Do you know what's going on? No, what's going on? I can't tell you. What?
What?
But I kept getting that for quite a while that afternoon leading up to that night. So it was an interesting period of time. And by the time the 6:30 news came on that evening, I had a pretty good idea. Didn't know how it went down, but I knew it went down. So obviously, I was glued from that point on.
Yeah, there was I believe it was a Sunday.
It was.
Yeah, I think it was a Sunday night, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Sunday night.
Yeah, it was.
I remember President Obama at the time came on pretty late in the evening time, probably like around 11 o'clock.
It was.
Later. But it was like I said, it was pretty neat to see watching the baseball game and not knowing what happened, and then seeing the fans, Phillies fans, all join together chanting.
I totally agree. So that it was it was a time and as we said this morning, a couple of things I did not know. I learned this morning. One of them, it's one thing I did not know. I did not know that he was planning an assassination attempt on our president at the time.
Mm-hmm.
That was what his plan was. But he also was planning another 9/11 attack for a couple of months later. That was what was in the works. I'd heard that one. I did not know about the assassination plot for Obama.
I didn't either.
So anyway, Osama bin Laden, as I used to call him, Osama bin killed. Good riddance.
We just had a viewer said that he was in the barracks at Fort Bragg, and
that exploded
when he was killed, and bin Laden was killed, and he said, "Man, did we party!"
I can guarantee you that one. So anyway, hey Chris, thank you.
Thanks,
as
Chris.
always.
Hey, thank you.
All right, you stay good. Okay, we've got to go. We've run out of time again. So it's, folks, if you're calling in at any time, please try not to wait till the last minute. We do have things that are scheduled, like Miller Time. So we've got events that are scheduled, and we have guests that are scheduled. So if you want to get on the show, a good time to do it is early, right after commercial break. When you hear a commercial playing and we haven't promoted something after that, give us a ring-a-ding. That's the time to get on.
That last 20 minutes goes fast.
It does. It zips right on by. Okay, we're going to take a break. 22 hours worth. Kelly should be back, hopefully back tomorrow.
Hopefully.
And she's probably celebrating the good news that they're hoping to get a Sheets, a Topgolf, and something else out there.
Mr. Ray's become my new best friend.
There you go. And so we'll be seeing you tomorrow morning, about 22 hours. We'll take a break, do a little bit of Fox News, and then at 10 o'clock, Rick Dees will have another dose of his daily D's, and he'll be dishing out all the cool stuff. And 3 o'clock this afternoon, he's going to hand it off. It's going to be a sneaky handoff too. Wait and see, to the man, our man, the Hollywood, Chris Hollywood Man at 3 o'clock. Have a great rest of your day. Be safe. We'll see you tomorrow morning. You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
This is a Fox News Alert. I'm CJ Papa.